a couple of minutes. You guys know how I do it, right? I do these lives every Monday through Thursday. Time unknown. I try to get it in by like 5:30. Well, it's 5:35 now, right? So I'm a little late, right? But that's okay. Hope you guys had a great day. I just want to come on and say, hey, hope all is well. Like I just said that right. Hope all is well. But there was something that I actually, it had to do with the stuff I posted today. So hopefully you guys are catching some of the stuff that I'm posting kind of on a regular basis. Yesterday had to do with, if you lose a guest, how much money does it actually cost the hotel? So it kind of broke down in categories, how much it would cost because, with marketing and all these service recoveries and things like that, it actually does add up, right? And sometimes we internally and within the hotel, we don't think about all the things that are involved with service recovery or trying to bring a client that you have lost back to the hotel, right? Especially if it's a group, right? So now you're dealing with more people than just one person, right? So, but if you haven't listened to it, or I mean, not listened to it, but if you haven't read it, please give it a read. I know a lot of people have been making comments. A lot of people have read it. I appreciate it. So continue to read it, and then share that information because I think it's good shareable information. A lot of times we don't share information. We don't share enough information with our hotel staff or internally as far as what's involved with certain things, right? So we keep like the budget and all these things close to the vest, or what we should be achieving, or the star report because we don't want everyone to know how that works. I mean, I think I think that comes with maybe we don't even understand it. So how are we going to explain it to other people, right? So that's one thing that I always wanted to do is when I had a sales department is, let people know that the star report, it does exist. This is how it works. This is what it means. All these kind of things. So a lot of times we don't want to, like I said, we keep this stuff close to the vest, and we think that's, I don't know if that we think that's um, I don't. It's concealing information. I don't know. You don't want to share this stuff. You don't know how to explain it. You get in the wrong hands, or maybe the people that you're trying to explain it to, they don't understand it. But that's part of growing, right? No one actually on property level taught me the star report. It came to a corporate person, a VP taught me the star report, right? So the GM really didn't understand it. And that's, I find out later, that's why he never explained it because he didn't understand it himself. So it took this VP, young guy, cocky, whatever. Oh, everybody should know this, right? Why I don't know it? Okay, can you teach me how to read the damn star report? Okay, so, and I think it comes from, like I said, a lot of people don't understand it. I mean, you got the 360, was it Hotelligence? It used to be called Hotelligence 360 or whatever. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that we as salespeople should know. You know what I mean? Or even, the entire hotel, say your management staff. You don't want to bore everybody, right? But say your management staff in your staff meetings, things like that. Those things should be brought up. Are you making budget? Budget for the most part is brought up, but like star reports and sales reports and all these kind of things, marketing, what we're doing, why we're doing certain things. I mean, those things should be brought up. It shouldn't be a secret. I see Craig, transparency, talk to your team. Yeah, it's all about transparency, right? Craig, I appreciate that. Craig Sullivan, thank you so much. But yeah, so it's all about transparency. And I think the more you are transparent, the stronger the team can be because they know what the goals are. They know what you're striving for. And the more you keep away from people, I think that's a detriment. I don't think that it doesn't entice anyone to want to move, to another department, doesn't entice them to learn more, doesn't do any of that stuff. So why not teach people? I always came from this rule where the more I teach people, the less I got to do. Okay, so maybe I did it for other reasons, selfish reasons. I don't know, but to me, it was like the more I teach people, the less I got to do, right? And I can take a day off or leave early because I know someone will be there to take care of it. And always hire people that are not necessarily smarter than you, but hire people with a different skill set than you have. Okay, so because a lot of people say, well, hire somebody smarter than you. Well, okay, I don't know if that's a good thing. Well, as long as you're good with that and you're okay with that and you can manage that, that's fine. But my thing was, I looked for people that had a different skill set than I did. Like say if I'm a director of sales and marketing and I'm weak on revenue management, well, I need to hire someone that has that particular skill on my team. So I can go to that person and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or can you look at this? Can you look at that? So those are things that I, kind of did. Craig says, right you are, Russell. Thank you so much. In fact, I encourage the comments. Thank you so much, Craig Sullivan. You can make your comments, and I will put them on the screen just like I'm putting Mr. Craig Sullivan's comment on the screen as we speak. So I didn't have a chance to I was gonna put my green screen on, but I noticed that I had a green sweatshirt, and it does not show up right or well. So I said, damn, I can't do because normally I would highlight I don't know, a hotel or something in the background. So you'd be able to see that, right? So I had a green shirt on, so people think that, it's a green screen, you got a green shirt, it's no big deal. Yeah, no, it actually is. You'll see through it. You won't be able to see that I even have a shirt on. Not like X-ray vision, but it would be blurred out and wouldn't even look right. So you see my head and you won't see anything else because of the green shirt that I have on. And so anyway, so I didn't do that today, okay? But no, thank you so much, Craig, for the comments. And feel free, anyone that wants to make a comment, you can. This is live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. I do these lives every single Monday through Friday. Talk about just a little bit about hospitality or my day. This is called a daily check-in. In fact, I should already put that up there, right? This is my daily check-in, right? So this is daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I'm sorry, I didn't have it up there. You always have to help educate your team so they can grow into new opportunities. Man, you just said it right there, Craig. It's all about growing your team, right? Everyone doesn't want, well, first of all, you need to see exactly what your team wants, individually. What are their goals? What are their aspirations? Maybe they want to be in your position, right? And sometimes we have people that are, they get caught up in, well, if I teach them too much, they'll take my job. Well, that's what you want, right? That's what I always wanted. Teach them enough where they know your job, and maybe they can go on to their own property, or maybe I can leave and go somewhere else, and knowing that this hotel is in good hands. So that's how I looked at it. I never looked at it as a threat, someone coming in and somebody younger and maybe more ideas, whatever. You know what? I learn from them just like they can learn from me. So you have to teach people. You have to train them, educate them, teach them up. Train them up, whatever, however you want to put that. But that is a great point, Craig. You always have to help educate your team so they can grow into new opportunities, right? So you're only as good as your weakest person, right? So you got weak people on your team, then your team is going to be weak. So the more they know, the better everything. Your department's stronger, the hotel's stronger, and that's infectious, right? It goes from department to department. If your if your department is strong, you got strong people, believe me, your counterparts would see that and say, you know what, I need to start training my people. I need to start educating my people more. Okay, so, but yeah, so I don't even know how I got on that, but I just appreciate Craig coming on here and making some comments. So, feel free to make comments. Appreciate that. I'm not going to be on here long. These lives don't have to be long. It's just that it's about, who comes on, who makes comments. Of course, I have a little agenda to get to, but it is a very small agenda. But I just wanted to come on and just make sure you guys knew about the posting I did. Actually, one today, and then I did one yesterday. The one I talking about right now is the one from yesterday that had to do with like service recovery, and if you lose a guest or lose clients, to service, how much money does that even cost? There's no exact dollar amount you can come out, but that you can come up with, unless I'm working at a hotel and I'm telling you exactly what that is, right? But there are certain things that will, like marketing and service recovery, and I think I mentioned that already. So all those things matter when you're trying to figure out, well, how much did it cost to lose the business? So bottom line is, you don't want to lose any business because of anything. Of course, you're going to lose business. I understand that. Everybody's not going to be completely 100% satisfied and happy with this, what happened, or or their, or your hospitality service or whatever. But, when that does come up and you do have to, compensate and start marketing differently and all these different things, start training more, those are things that we have to do. And it's funny, we only do that when something happens. Why don't we just do that from day one? That we don't have to worry about all this other stuff. So just train people the way they need to be trained, so they can, you know, um, create that experience, that great experience, that great lodging experience for the guests, right? Because that's what you want to do, right? But every now and then we all fall short. Okay, we understand that. Okay, but the better we do, the less we got to deal with service recoveries and all that kind of stuff, right? So let's just take care of the guests now, so we don't lose any of them, so we don't have to go through all this stuff, because it does cost more money to get them back once you lost them. So I would rather take care of them, right? So that's my take on that. Okay, but I did have something I wanted to go over, and that was CVBs and DMOs, right? So I had this conversation today, and with a a sales manager at a hotel, right? So a friend of mine, and I don't know how the conversation came up, but it came up like CVBs, right? And she really didn't know. She knew what, I guess, kind of what it was, but not really what they do. And I said, and I was kind of, I was kind of taken aback, and I was kind of taken aback and disappointed at the same time, because I would think this person would have known that, because the person's been around for a while. It wasn't like, this was someone new and they really didn't know, but they really didn't know all the, kind of the. You didn't have to be that detailed, but just kind of scratch the surface and let me know what they do. They didn't know, so I came in with this list. I said, you know what? I have something. Let me work on this, and I'm gonna send it. I said, I'm gonna send it to you so you can see exactly what they do. And I said, but when I send it to you, I need you to do one thing. I need you to go and introduce yourself to your local CVB or DMO, right? I need you to go to that office and introduce yourself, because she had just started in this new position at this particular hotel. She's been in the industry for a minute, but she's new to this particular destination, or this hotel within this destination. So I said, I'm gonna send you this information so you'll know exactly what they do, and it goes into kind of detail, right? So I put this. So I said, if she doesn't know, there's other people out there that don't know either exactly what they do and what is the role of a CVB or a DMO. So what I did was put that whole thing on LinkedIn. So I put it on my LinkedIn page. So make sure after this video, you go, if you haven't taken a look at it, take a look at it. And that's shareable as well, right? So make sure you share these things. So share the service, service costs money thing, or lack of service. If you lose business, that costs money, right? Share that, and share this on CVBs, because I guarantee you, a lot of people don't know the intricate details of what a CVB or DMO, what they do. Okay, some people don't even know what DMO even stands for. Okay, because they know the term CVB. Well, it's interchangeable, but now the new name is Destination Marketing Organization, right? But back in the day, depending on how long you've been around, CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau, right? So basically, it's the marketing arm or the tourism arm of a city or a destination, right? So, but it goes into detail exactly everything. And maybe I missed some stuff. Okay, so everything's not perfect, but it has enough information on there that okay, I can intelligently have a conversation with someone about what the CVB does, what they stand for, what the role is that they play within my city, my destination, or tourism in general. Okay, so I just wanted to educate people. I know a lot of CVB people, DMO people. They help me out. I mean, they're a tremendous resource for me. I call myself a resource, right? But I get, I use their resources as well, right? So it's important that not just people within the industry, but people outside the industry know that they're there and they can be used, right? They're there, and the services are free 99. So a lot of people don't even know that. They're like, well, what does this all mean, and what does it cost me? No, it doesn't cost you anything, So it's the tourism arm, economic arm of tourism, And the information is there, and the information is free, right? So they do a lot of statistics and things like that. How much business is coming in. How many room nights. I mean, we know this as our specific hotel, but they'll tell you the entire destination. They may not break it down as to which hotel, whatever, but group business, all that kind of stuff, transit business, whatever, they have a pretty good take on that stuff. So if you don't use them as a hotelier, you should. If you don't use them as a meeting planner, you definitely should, because they know everything that's going on within the hotel industry, within that city, new restaurants coming on, new businesses coming up, all that kind of stuff. So they know tourism, what's going on with this amusement park and that, renovations, all that. They know all that kind of stuff. So I use them as, like I said, it's a great resource. Transportation, okay, they know about which companies to use, or which companies happen to be members, or who would they refer. I mean, all these kind of things. It's just valuable information. So the more information, I put sharing is caring on this thing. That was the title of this information about CVBs and DMO. It said sharing is caring, because I came up with it, right? But I wanted to share with people because I want to make sure people know exactly the resources that they can have at their fingertips. All they got to do is ask. All I got to do is pick up the phone and call. All I got to do is email, whatever the heck it is. But it all started because I had a conversation with somebody this morning, a hotel person that didn't know who their CVB partners were and didn't really know 100% what CVBs do. Okay, which, like I said, it got me. And she didn't know this. She didn't know that I was kind of ticked off about it. I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't? What do you mean? No, call me. So I was kind of put off. But anyway, I see a comment from Dylan. For those on the Hotel Inn, if you are unsure of how to leverage your relationship with your local CVB DMO, my best advice is to walk in and introduce yourself. They will be more than happy to tell you how they can help. Boom! Drop the bomb. Drop the mic, Dylan. Okay, I got my mic right here. I'm about to drop it and push this button because this is over, right? Because you're absolutely right. So that's what I'm talking about. Right. So, Dylan, you hit it right on the head. I mean, you hit it right on the head. And I told her, I don't know if you were listening before, one of the things I said, when I send you this, I need you to do me a favor. So I sent her that whole thing that maybe you haven't seen it yet, but it's on my LinkedIn page. It has to do with CVBs and DMOs, and it says sharing is caring. So I share this information. I only came up with that because she did not know what the CVB was, right? So when I sent it to her, she said, "Oh, thank you very much. This is very helpful." I said, "Okay, I need you to do me a favor now." She said, "What?" "I need you to go in and, just like you said, Dylan, introduce yourself to your CVB partners. Find out who they are and how they can help you." Right? She's the sales manager at a hotel, like a senior salesperson at a hotel, right? In this same destination. So she needs to do that. So thank you very much for that. And that is great advice. In fact, let me put that on the screen. So for those on the Hotel Inn, if you are unsure how to leverage your relationship with a local CVB or DMO, my best advice is to walk in and introduce yourself. They will be more than happy to tell you how they can help you. Boom. I mean, you couldn't say that any better, Dylan. We put it up there again, okay? Because it disappeared pretty fast. So, but no, I appreciate that, Dylan. Dylan's a general manager at the Fairfield Inn by Marriott out there in Eugene, Oregon, right across the street. No, not across the street, but down the street from University of Oregon, right? So Dylan knows he has a relationship with his CVB partners, and they are partners, and they're my partners too. So my hotel, my hotel contacts are my partners as well, right? So, and I treat them as that. So the first thing I do when I get a lead for a group or whatever, or an RFP, I send it to my CVB partner or my CVB contact, and they're the ones that disseminate all the information to their hotel partners, which becomes my hotel partners, right? And they respond to me directly. So they are a great resource. And like I said, I call myself a resource. They are a great resource. I get a lot of my information from them. So there you go, right? But no, so Thank you very much. Like I said, I do these lives every Monday through Friday. Times change, but they're live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. Okay, so that's always going to be. So if you don't subscribe to my LinkedIn, or if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, please follow me. If you don't subscribe to YouTube, please click the little thing and go bing. So anytime you get, that I go live, it'll go bing. Russell is live. I don't know if it says all that, but you may get a little bing, right? So, yeah. So just make sure you do that. And if you're listening, I had a conversation with another person today, right? Another salesperson out here in Vegas, right? And she says, "Oh, I watch your YouTube, YouTube live like this right here, right?" I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, why don't you ever say anything?" She goes, "I don't have anything to say. I just want to let you know that I do watch you." And I'm like, "I appreciate that, but let me know that you're there. Then that way, at the very minimum, I can, say, hey, you know, hey, it's just say hello or whatever. Mention your hotel or whatever, right?" So I think her name is Alina, right? Alina. So I said, "Alina, just that way I know that you're there, and then I can talk about your hotel, especially if they offer that Russell of Hotels rate." So she's actually working on that Russell of Hotels rate. I will tell you once it's done, finalized or whatever. I will let you know. But yeah, the hotel in Vegas is going to offer that Russell of Hotels rate. First one out there, and it's a non-gaming hotel, meaning it's not a casino hotel, which I know a lot of people that go to Vegas, they want to go to the casinos, but they don't want to stay in the casino, right? So, and I have these, some corporate people that go to Vegas, right? They don't have a corporate rate. So I'm like, I can get the corporate rate for you, and you can just book through the Russell of Hotels rate. And she goes, "Okay, that's cool. We can do that." Sorry, Russell, had to walk the dog. Okay, well, that's okay, Craig. I'm gonna put that on the screen. Okay, that's fine. You're entitled to do that. Okay, we don't want the dog, not being walked. That's for sure. So, no, I appreciate that, Craig. I appreciate that. See, you make a comment, and the comments are gonna go on the screen. So, Craig, okay, what did Craig say? Russell, you, Glenn, Anthony, Dylan, Chris Green, so many others. We are in the bathrooms for the hospital industry. We have to do a better job of recruiting. Wow. You know what? You know what? You guys are just dropping some information today. That is like my goal, right, Craig? Is to because I don't think we're doing a good enough job of recruiting tomorrow's leaders today, right? So you hit that right on the head. We're not doing a good job, right? We're definitely not doing a good job of that, because if we were, we would have ambassador. Okay, hold on. What are you saying, Craig? Wait a minute. Ambassador. Yeah. Oh, we are the okay. You see bathrooms. I was kind of wondering, I kind of just went over that. I didn't even say anything. I'm like, I did say bathrooms, but I didn't make a comment about that, right? Kind of just like, okay. I don't know what he meant to say, but I'm just gonna say that and just keep it moving, right? But that was funny. So yeah, so we are the ambassadors for the hospitality industry, and we have to do a better job of recruiting tomorrow's leaders. Yes, we do. And I always say that, back in the day when I came up, I always use examples of, remember, everything I do or most of the stuff that I talk about is based on my experiences, right? So years ago, I was recruited by Marriott, right? Marriott came, and maybe they still do that to some degree. I don't know what's going on because I'm not in that space anymore. But they would come quarterly. They would come to the school and it would be a job fair, and they would come and actively recruit people. That's how I got recruited. I can even tell you that the two people that recruited me, because I remember them, because I had ended up working for them, Bridget Belinsky and San Veneziano with Marriott. I mean, I dropped names because I remember these people. So they came, and I remember seeing them on the quad, right? That's where the it was outside. That's where the job fair was. and you drop off your resume, you have conversation with them if they had time, that kind of thing. And that's how I got my job, right? So, and I'm sure maybe we're doing that. Maybe we're not doing it as much as we were doing it in the past. I don't know. Um, but I've asked people I know, professors, people I went to school with that are teaching at Cal Poly Pomona, and she said, yeah, they still do it to some degree, and I don't think it's being done like it was back then. And even case in point, and I want to say his name is, I can't remember the gentleman's name now, but he was a big wig with Marriott. I want to say it wasn't Anthony, the CEO. Maybe it was, but it was a conversation he was having about, and I think the question came up about recruiting. He said, well, we have to get back to recruiting. And I was taken aback. I'm like, get back to recruiting? No, this should be an ongoing thing. We shouldn't be getting back to recruiting. We shouldn't be getting back to hiring people or training people, all that stuff. We need to be doing that day in and day out, because the industry, I mean, you can see what happened. Got decimated, with COVID and all that stuff. People left, right? Well, where are tomorrow's people? Where are tomorrow's leaders? Where are they coming from? And they could be internally, they could be there internal, but we got to make sure we're training these people too, right? So however we were recruiting back in the day, we need to start or restart that. Okay, if that's in high school level, if that's junior college, university, whatever it is, we need to do it. We need to continue to do it. And it has to be an ongoing thing. It can't be like, we're going to do it for a couple of months and we're going to stop. No, money has to, and effort has to be put into this. Because like I said, I'm a product of that, right? So I'm sure a lot of other people are. So we have to let people know that the hospitality industry is a viable industry. You can make a living. You can do all the things that you want to do, right? You got to put in the work, right? You do have to grind, but it is one of those industries where you can, and you don't necessarily have to go to college. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. You don't have to. Okay, a lot of people came in the industry different ways. Everybody came in a different way. I came in through the college way, right? But there's some other people that didn't, and they're VPs and whatever. It doesn't matter, because you're gonna learn on the job anyway. In fact, I tell people now, the stuff that I learned from working, I didn't learn that shit in college. Only thing I learned in college is I took a wine and spirits class, okay, that I applied to real life, right? So I knew wine and spirits before I got in the industry, before I actually had a job, right? Because we had wine and spirits classes, right? You were like pounding, wine and distilled, liquors and vodkas and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that was the class to have. But anyway, okay. So what Craig said. Summer pay internships, start going to the high schools, help with scholarships. Russell, we take part of the admissions fee and donate it back to our trade organizations for scholarships. I did not know that. That is good to know. What else you say? Ongoing programs are key. Yes, yes, they are. Ongoing programs are the key. So, yeah, so do we start with the brands, Craig? I mean, is it the brands that are not doing what they were doing, some years ago? What is it? What do you think it is? Career change for me. So you had another career and you came into the industry? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. Tell me what you're saying, Craig. I don't know. You gotta let me know. How to use a yellow highlighter. What does that mean? I don't know. Is that what you learned? Is that something that you learned, how to use a yellow highlighter? I'm not sure. Help me out. Help me help them. Okay, tell me what you're saying, Craig. But brands and management companies. Brands and management companies. Yes, brands. Yeah. We have to get back to the brands, the management. Because management companies did not exist when I came up. They didn't exist like they do now. There may have been one, and these were new. So this is actually before, remember that whole when Starwood, started. I was before that, right? I was during that whole thing, that whole Starwood merger, and then with REITs and all this kind of stuff, and then the management companies, AGHI, which turned into ended up being Ameristar, and then Interstate Hotels, which is now was it Aimbridge? Now it's Aimbridge, right? So I remember when all these management companies first started coming on board. So now you got 1,000, management companies now, but back then we didn't have them. So yeah, so they need to take the lead too, especially the bigger ones, right? So we got, Aimbridge, Sage, Evolution, all those need to take the lead and start finding and recruiting and training these up and coming whippersnappers. You know what I mean? People that want to come in the industry and learn, right, firsthand. I mean, I got people now. This is the funny thing. Okay, and this is more of on accounting. She worked in corporate, so I have a niece, right, that did a kind of an internship in Texas with Aimbridge, right? So you would think that once she finished that and she did a good job, and I'm pretty sure she did a good job, that they would have asked her to stay on or maybe place her at a hotel, right? For, to be a controller at a hotel, whatever. But they never did. And right now, she got a job with a small accounting company in Houston. And now she's, moving on to another. She's looking for another job, right? She still has that job, but she's looking for another job. And she may be leaving the state to go to another job, but her field is accounting. So I said, well, and I just asked her, her dad, I said, well, what do you think about her? I said, I have to ask her, but I said, do you think she wants to go back in the hotels? And he said she would be open to anything. I said, because she did almost a 2-year internship with Aimbridge in their office in Dallas. So it just kind of, I'm like, well, why didn't they recruit her to be like a controller at one of their individual properties? Because she was supporting them. That's what she was doing. She was supporting several hotels, being like the controller's controller, if you will. So I'm like, well, and I just thought about this. It was just 2 days ago when he told me that she's looking for another job. So I'm like, would she be willing to go back to Aimbridge or a hotel company? And he said she probably would go anywhere. But then, when we brought this up, or Craig brought this up, and it just made me think, why didn't they actively recruit her to do that? So anyway, so what is he saying? Okay, brands and management companies. Yeah, so brands and management companies, need to get on the ball. Do we need to light a fire somewhere, Craig? What do we need to do? And college, high school, college, junior college. We need to. Yeah, definitely. So that's something that's definitely needed. Definitely this recruiting thing needs to start. Sooner rather than later. Like I said, it was someone with Marriott that said, "Oh, we have to get back to this." Marriott used to be the leader in that, and for them to say that we have to get back to that kind of like it took me back. I'm like, what do you mean? You're the leader, okay? If you do it, everyone else is gonna follow suit. So I was disappointed when I heard that comment. And it was like on a podcast or something like that. He was asked questions. This gentleman was asked some questions. And he said, we have to get back to this. And I'm like, no, you're behind the 8 ball. If you're saying I got to get back to this, we're already behind the 8 ball. So we need to make sure we do that. So there you go. I think I'm done with that. I think I'm done with that subject. Well, but Craig, thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. So these things, like I say, I always say these lives don't have to be long, right? Unless I get comments and questions and things like that. And I not only got questions and comments, I got a whole topic. So I appreciate Craig Sullivan and Dylan for coming on and making these comments, because those things are important. They're important to the industry. Like I always say, I try to be a resource to the industry. And definitely a big proponent, okay, especially when it comes to recruiting, because like I said, I always draw from my own experiences, and I was recruited off a college campus, okay, like so many other people. I know some other people have done that as well, right? But I'm talking about my experience, right? So I was recruited off a college campus. I named the 2 people that recruited me. I ended up working for them later here in Southern California, out of the Santa Ana office back in the day when Courtyard by Marriott had an office in Santa Ana. That's where I started. That's where I started my training. Then I got assigned a hotel, which was LAX Courtyard, which is no longer there. It's now a Sonesta Hotel. Believe that, right? So I started off in housekeeping. So my first discipline was housekeeping. I always mention that, right? So there you go. Ongoing programs are key. Yes. Career change for me. Brands management company. Did you see 3 minute? I did not see 3 Minute Thursdays yet. So Craig, so just so you know, follow Craig Sullivan. If you don't follow him, he does this. Him and Glenn Hausman do a show called 3 Minute Thursdays, and it's on Thursday afternoon. So make sure you check that out. I haven't checked it out, but I definitely will. And I guess it only goes for 3 minutes, so you got time to do that, right? And then he says, and then Newport Beach office. What do you mean? Is that where I went to work? Newport Beach office? Is that what you're asking me? I think he's referring to when I worked for Marriott. It was in Santa Ana. Their office was in Santa Ana at that time. I'm not sure where it is now, but it was in Santa Ana then. Only on Instagram. Oh, it's only on Instagram. Okay, only on Instagram. 3 Minute Thursdays. Okay, so check that out. Craig Sullivan, Glenn Hausman, they're rock stars. Okay, so you need to listen. You need to watch. Okay, so yeah, so they can be silly too. Okay, just so you know, they're not as serious as I am, right? Oh man, yeah, they're sillier than I am. Okay, so and I can be pretty damn silly. So if they're sillier than I am, oh, OMG. Let's see, what is he saying? No, the Marriott was in Santa Ana, then Newport Beach, and gone now. The office, you mean? The office? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not. I think you're meaning the office. Okay, I did not know that. Very much so. Yes, they are. Very much so. So yeah, so no, yeah, the offices are gone. Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Or the hotels are gone. So, but anyway, you guys have a great day. Like I said, once again, I do this every Thursday. So I mean, say I'm thinking I'm Craig now. No, I do these every day, Monday through Friday. I also do a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. Comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock California time. That's where I'm located, right? So talk about the good, the bad, the indifferent, the challenging, the ugly of the hospitality industry. Okay, so and I have people come on. They talk about their stories, how they got involved in this industry, because no two people got in this industry alike. And sometimes we'll even talk about subjects like this recruiting thing or the lack of recruiting. So the daily updates are just, they can be kind of a microcosm of the show, because I do talk about things that are going on in the industry. I may pick up just one topic, to do this daily check-in. Like today was CVBs and DMOs and how we need to know what they are and what they do and how they can help us, right? So hotel people out there, if you don't know what it is, if you don't know who your reps are, make an appointment to go in and see them and talk to them and ask them how they can help your hotel. If you're a meeting planner and you're doing different destinations, contact your whatever in that particular city's CVB or DMO and ask them how they can help you as well, because that's what they're there to do. They're there to help you, and the services cost you nothing and no editing. Silly is a good thing. Yes, you know what? Silly is a good thing, right? And no editing. Yeah, that's why I do lives, because I don't like to edit. So people always ask me, why do you do lives? I do lives because I don't want to edit. And my show, On Air with Russell of Hotels, it's a live show, right? It is live, and the reason why it's live because I don't want to edit anything. So if I mess up on something, say something wrong, look crazy, whatever, but okay, whatever. Let's just keep it moving, right? But yeah, so no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Craig. I appreciate the no editing. I appreciate the silliness, because it's all about having fun, right? It's all about delivering information, right? But in a fun way, in a fun and unique, different way. We can deliver the same information, me and Craig, myself, and Glenn, but we're all going to do it 3 different ways because we're all 3 different people, right? So when people say, well, there's a lot of podcasts out there, there's too many now. No, and they may be talking about the same things, but we all deliver things differently. Okay, so that's how, and we all have different people that listen to us or watch us, right? So that's what it's all about. So you have information you want to share, then share the damn information. Okay, so don't get caught up in, I don't think I do it. Oh, I'm gonna look crazy. I'm gonna look silly. We look silly and crazy all the time, and that's okay because you're being you. That's the key, right? It's being you, not trying to be someone else, not trying to be like someone else. If you have information or content you want to share, then damn it, just share it. There you go. So Craig says, and no editing, and then he said, write URLs. Yeah, every now and then, I'm right about something. So, so I appreciate that. So anyway, there was something. Was there something else I was going to say? I think that's it. 41 minutes. Hey, there you go. So, but it's all about be you and have a. You know what? You're gonna keep me on here, Craig. Okay. He says I'm gonna dissect what he said. He said, "Be you and have a conversation." These things, like even with Craig and Glenn, they're on a show together, right? It's not, and they have guests that come on, and it's not when they're talking to the guests. It's not an interview. We're not interviewing people. We're having a conversation with someone. Okay, that's different than an interview. Oh, well, what do you think? We have this list of questions. No, it's just this free flowing conversation about whatever their role is within the industry, or whatever how they deal with certain problems or issues or whatever within the industry. But these are all conversations, right? And you can be you, right? Just like I'm here. Do I have to have a suit and a tie on and all that? No, I don't have to have all that on. You see, I got my hat on today. And in fact, my friend David Rowland gave me this hat, right? He's a stunt man, okay, on the Rookie. He's a stunt man on the Rookie. He gave me this hat. So I always want to make sure I rock, my friend's hat. We went to high school together. We played football together, right? So, and he gave me this hat. And I said, dude, I'm going to wear this on it. He said, man, that's cool. Wear it. So this is me, right? So, but, and I used to, when I first started doing the show, I used to wear a jacket all the time. So someone told me, "Oh, you should wear a jacket," and I said, well, "Okay, I'm gonna wear a jacket then." But then that wasn't really me. You got to be you, right? You can't fake it. I always say, don't fake the funk, right? So I stopped wearing the jacket. So I wear a shirt, I wear a sweatshirt or whatever. I normally don't have a hat on during my show, but every now and then I will throw a hat on. So there you go. But it's all about being you. It's all about you being comfortable. When you have people on, it's about having that conversation, not interviewing people. It's just talking about, hey, how you got started in this industry? Or you have some questions. I may have questions formulated for them, right? But it's still a conversation. And that's what Craig is talking about. So appreciate that, Craig. He says, tomorrow, Friday night audit with Glenn and Craig, 5 p.m. There you go. See, there you go. So make sure you follow. If you don't follow Craig on LinkedIn, follow him. If you don't follow him on YouTube, make sure you follow him there and subscribe to their channel. And then that way you get that bing, when they go live, you're like, bing, oh, Craig and Glenn are live for Friday night audit. So make sure you do that. 2 p.m. PST. That means here in California, it's 2 o'clock here in California. So there you go. I think that's it, right? I think we've done enough, Craig. So I appreciate you coming on, Dylan, as well as Dylan coming on as well. Remember, hotel people that are listening, let's do a better job at recruiting. And that way we don't have to be in these situations that we're in now. But then again, respect our people, respect the people that work for us, that work with us, that work for our guests, right? That provide that feeling of hospitality. Let's treat them with more respect than we have been treating them. Let's have conversations with them. It's not all about do this, do that. It's about hey, how's your day? What are your aspirations? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Do you like working in the hotel? Is this just a pit stop for you, or is it maybe can be a career? Because we have other opportunities within this hotel that you can learn about or partake in or whatever, right? But it's all about guiding these people to the right direction, right? Like I said, someone guided me somewhere. Along the way, someone guided me. Okay, so I always want to give back somehow. Okay, so there you go. And what else did he say? Okay, aloha. So thank you so much, Craig. Appreciate it. That's it. Encouragement. Yeah, it's all about Dylan. Thank you. It's all about encouragement. It's all about knowing what they want to do. It's not only about us because sometimes we, well, I'm worried about. I'm just help. Hopefully, they can help me out get to where I want to be. No, it shouldn't be like that. It's about we can all get there together, right? Whatever our goals are, I think we can all achieve those goals together. But we need each other to get there, right? I need, when I was on property, say I was a director of sales, I needed solid sales managers to get to where we're going to go. And where we were going to go was make budget, get more clients, whatever the heck it is. It's better to get there with your people. Don't try to get there alone because you'll never get there, right? So what is that old African proverb? If you want to go far, you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. There you go. I think that was it. So yeah. So make sure you listen to that, right? So yes, all about encouragement and mentorship. Find somebody to mentor. Yeah, I'm always here to do that, to mentor people. People will call me every now and then and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So, but you need to be accessible too. So for people like myself, people like Craig, people like Dylan, Glenn, people that have a kind of a voice within hospitality. We need to put our, if we're talking about this stuff, we need to be about it, right? So if that means we need to be mentors, if people want to contact us, we should be accessible to that. And I'm pretty sure we all are. I'm speaking for everybody else, right? But we are all accessible if you want to talk about things within the hospitality space. Maybe the path I took, or the path maybe Dylan took, or maybe what's available out there, what's going on within the industry, or whatever it is. I know I'm accessible. I'll just speak for myself. I know I'm accessible to talk to people like that, to be, a mentor if that's what you need. So, because like I said, someone gave me a shot. Several people gave me a shot. I remember, and I thought I was done, right? I remember leaving LA and moving to Sacramento, where in Sacramento now there's more hotels than it was when I was there, right? So this was years ago. And it took me like 2 years to break into the hotel industry there because everything was real cliquish. Well, somebody, Ron Berger, general manager at the time, he gave me a shot, right? And the rest is history. So once he gave me a shot, that was it. I shined. I did whatever I needed to do, right? And he made sure I got promoted and trained and all these kind of things, right? Because I didn't want to disappoint him, because he gave me that shot that I needed. So, and this was after the Marriott thing, right? So I tried to transfer with Marriott to Sacramento but back in those days, I want to say there's only 4 Marriott properties then in Sacramento. And unlike here in Southern California, where people move around a lot, there's always positions open. There, people stay in those positions forever. They didn't leave, right? So I couldn't transfer, so I ended up having to leave Marriott. That's the only reason I left Marriott, because when I moved to Sacramento, I couldn't transfer to another Marriott hotel because they didn't have any openings. So I had to leave the company. So, and it took me 2 years to get another hotel job. I worked in San Francisco for like a year and a half. And I drove from Sacramento to San Francisco. Can you believe that crap? Who does that? You know what made me stop driving there? I just quit my job. It wasn't a hotel job. I quit. I had a blowout on the Bay Bridge. You been on that Bay Bridge before? I had a blowout. Scared the you-know-what out of me. And I'm like, I think that's the scariest I've ever been, right, in my life. And I said, I ain't coming back here. And to this day, I hate San Francisco. To this day, I hate it. So, okay, what did Dylan say? Just finished last report of the month. May is a wrap. and in the past. Well, congratulations. Hopefully May was a good month for you out there. And Craig says, congratulations, Dylan. And yes, but anyway, that's it. Let me get off this thing. I appreciate you guys listening or just, listen to me tell my stories. But that's what it's all about, right? It's all about being you. This is being me, right? So I got stories to tell. It's all about, your experiences, right? So there you go. You guys have a great day. Thank you again, Craig and Dylan, for your support and your comments and questions and all that stuff. Hey, that's an important market in California. Hey, that's an important. What is San Francisco? You got to answer this one question, Craig. Hey, that's an important market in California. What's the important market in California? Is that San Francisco or Sacramento? Probably Sacramento. I would say Sacramento. But yeah. Anyway, so you guys have a great day and a great evening. Oh, I got to watch the basketball game tonight too, right? So anyway, I'm not sure who I'm going for. I got to watch the first game, and I'll tell you who I think is going to win after this first game. So anyway, San Francisco. Okay, San Francisco. I hate San Francisco, and it's because of that bridge, and I had a blowout. Okay, so I still got some personal scars about that. But anyway, you guys have a great day, great evening.